What is up, guys? You're here on Artie's Kooky Music Party, and today, my guest is my good friend Oscar Vinegra. How you doing today, Oscar?
I'm doing pretty good. Just chilling.
Yeah. So, Oscar, me and Oscar go way back. He was one of my first friends when I moved up here, freshman year, and yeah, we started off in good old choir.
Way back the line.
We had both different experiences with it. I really was into it and whatnot. How are things from your end?
So I started choir. I think fresh. No, I started choir way back in sixth grade.
Uh huh.
Started getting way into music. Or way into like music for school at around that time. I
Hmm.
was considering maybe at the end of seventh grade or starting into seventh grade going into band or maybe that, but I decided to skip a year of music and then just go into eighth grade choir. Did that for another year and then at the end, I think I stayed in it until my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it all the time I had there with all the people that I met and all that stuff. I really enjoyed it all. I really did.
Well, that's good to hear. But as you're on the show today, you aren't here for being the newest tenor tune, the greatest
Yeah,
choir on
no,
earth. No,
no,
you've been on
not
your own
anymore.
stuff.
I've been on my own stuff.
Yeah, no, yeah. So tell me about it. How did you get started? Just creating music and all that.
Well, it all started with my good friend, AJ over here, aka you.
Gosh. Every
Introduced.
time I only get people on here that I know that I've been doing music stuff, so it always sounds like I'm just bringing people on to
I
myself.
mean, I don't know. I wasn't like okay for the most part.
Just say anybody else, but
But before I met anyone else but you.
no,
All right.
okay,
No, okay. Um,
yeah,
as a kid, I always listened to a lot of I mean, whatever was on the radio, really, and it was just like Imagine Dragons, Taylor Swift, whoever was on the radio,
yeah, of
and
course,
I decided, I this is nice and all, but I want to like find something that is less industry in general and just basically like I can understand or like I can feel with.
exactly.
So one of
That
my
first,
friends, yeah, so one of my friends got showed me some music on Spotify, and then I got into that artist, and then from there I expanded into more other artists, and then I started listening to a lot of music, different types, and then I decided, hey, this doesn't sound all that bad actually. This doesn't sound all too hard. I can probably do this myself.
yeah.
So
So obviously, after having been in choir for a lot of time, you have that vocal background. But as I've seen from the music that you made, you have much more than just singing. Like, what instruments did you pick up first?
I think the first instrument I probably picked up in was guitar. I think my first song that I recorded by myself, using my own not my own software, but using my computer, my microphone, basically that all worked on by myself, was using a guitar, and that was it. A guitar and vocals, and then acoustic, and that's what I went with.
Guitar is always where it's at. I mean, I love it so much because like it's like having a little mini like piano or choir at your like hands.
Hmm.
Because I feel like for a lot of people who start off singing and then go off to instruments like guitars and whatnot, the thought in mind is always not to be like a guitarist, but to be like an accompanist to yourself.
Yeah. I've always thought of it that way. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
hmm
So it's really cool, like building those bases for yourself and
hmm
whatnot.
and then the ability to be able to, one thing you can do with music on recording programs is make a secondary track or a third track, and you can just keep adding on to that. And that's what I think got me into music the most: the ability to have a software or a program where you can just keep on adding layers and layers and do whatever you want to those layers. It just expands everything
And
so
that's the
much.
and that's the really cool thing about like Oscar's music, because like he a lot of his music is yeah, like guitar based and all that, and there's no actual like basses or whatever, but he does really well in substituting it. It's like working with what you got.
Hmm.
It's really like really indie that punk DIY ethic I always keep going back to, that I just am in love with. Because you and so many other artists around here just exemplify it more and more. So like, what was this first program that you used that you're talking about?
So, and I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but I shouldn't be because it's a lot of people's
No.
first. But
Yeah.
Audacity on the computer, it's a free program. You can download it off of Google. Heck yeah, that ooh. I mean, it's a program, that's for sure. So it's I mean, I wouldn't recommend it if you can get anything else, including GarageBand on the App Store if you want to. Bad enough iMovie, but like honestly, using Audacity really helped because again, different tracks,
Exactly. I mean, that's the very first step, managing different things and all that. But I if you think that's bad, I the first time I ever tried to do anything with music on like the computer, I tried to do like a mashup between, I think, I think it was Nick. It was like some Panic at the Disco song. I want to say Nicotine, but I don't remember for sure. And some Fall Out Boy song. And oh my goodness, the way I went about that, I pulled up the Adobe Premiere Pro.
You trying to add a video to it?
No, that's the thing. I just had no video. Just pulled up the audio tracks, and I was like, okay, let me get to slicing. So no, don't ever feel embarrassed for starting out on Audacity, because at least you started out on an actual audio.
I remember something that I used to do when I was like little. Is I'd pull up 2 different YouTube tabs, and I'm like, I like this song. Oh, I like this song too. Bam! It sounds pretty good to me.
It's like the scene from Ratatouille where it takes the cheese and
the cheese and the strawberry.
Exactly.
But I remember like combining 2 songs that had nothing to do with each other. So I'm like, all right. Phoenix from Fall Out Boy. I like this one. All right. Let's see. Let's look a little. Oh, this Coldplay song matches real well. Like
exactly.
Yeah, it was.
But everybody has to have their starts. We all start from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So from good old Audacity, what was your next gamer move?
My next gamer move.
Yeah.
So I decided to keep working on that and keep working on the music on the side in Audacity. But what I decided my main move was, I started saving up money, and they needed to get a new microphone, because at that point I think I was recording off of a $15 Walmart mic. I was using Audacity, and I was using like just a laptop. So I think the next move was, I saved up a little bit of money, bought me a Blue Yeti microphone, which I'm using right now, and I think this is probably one of the best microphones you can get on the cheap end of stuff.
Yeah,
cheaper end.
I've always heard really great stuff.
A lot of professional artists, not a lot of professional artists, but a lot of like growing artists use a Blue Yeti. Like Garden, for example, if you know who that is, he uses a Blue Yeti.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, a lot of people use it, and I think it's a great mic. But anyway, I found a bundle with Blue Yeti and then Studio One, which is a pretty good DAW. Which if you don't know what a DAW is, that's basically the software you use for music. I found a good bundle.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cool. And also just a little bit of a more explanation. DAW is a cool producer lingo for digital audio workspace.
Ooh.
I wanted to bring up DAWs because I was watching an Adam Neely video. Yes, I'm that kind of person for any of you who know, but he was bringing up how one of the greatest like failings in most forms of music education, like in the modern world, is that there are no DAW classes offered, and I am 110% behind that.
I think that you bring up a really good point there. That should definitely be pushed. Pushed towards.
Yeah, for sure. Because like, I mean, like. For the DAWs are really hard to explain fully, because they do everything, like every part of the music process. The recording, the editing, the mixing,
the mastering, all of that. Yeah. I think the biggest thing is, I mean, yeah, aside from that, hardware is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hardware is expensive. Those consoles you see at concerts, at venues, all those places, they can be upwards of $100,000. They can be 2 or 3 cars worth. Okay, it is expensive what those consoles can be,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, for sure.
the ability to have something cheaper, well, not necessarily cheaper, but something you can either pay monthly or have like a one-time pay for it. Anyway, just the ability to have it digitally instead of having it in person, and it do the same stuff for around the same quality. I think that's a big step forward, and people should be attempting to teach that, or teaching that.
Yeah, and it really comes with the whole like it's part of this thing about the music industry that really like upsets me is that there's this like constant nostalgia for the past, right? Like right now,
Mm-hmm.
I see these like guitar gearheads that are like trying to like come up with these newest pedals to sound exactly like, I don't know, like Joe Satriani or whoever from the past. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
my God, like this kind of thinking is what's going to kill the entire thing, because nobody wants to go past that. And DAWs are part of that whole new thing of having to embrace it in order to go forward,
Mm-hmm.
because guitars are not as cool anymore. It's not back in the 80s where people you could
Yeah.
just show up to
You,
the
you can't
function.
exactly. Yeah, you can't pull up to the place with your guitar and impress the whole crowd. You gotta be doing
Yeah.
something special with it
No,
nowadays.
now you do that, you just look like one of those like periphery nerds that are just sitting with
Oh
their
look,
gen
here he comes
projects.
with the guitar again.
Oh boy,
Oh
that's really
boy.
hard. I mean, everyone falls into that trap every now and then, but yeah,
Hmm.
it's needs some modernizing going on here.
For sure, for sure. And I think that's a good step forward, because if you think about it, with trends and all that stuff, I
Hmm.
feel like music more than anything, it's a cycle. Stuff goes
True.
in, stuff goes out, but eventually it'll come back around.
It, I heard about a thing like at a greater like just on a grander scale for art, is that there's always this cyclical thing of going from like a really polished, highly technical work to or like polished technical movement. That's a better
Hmm.
way of putting it. From one movement to another, it'll be from technical to really sloppy, but
Hmm.
has heart. I forgot the specific examples, but you can see it. With just the music and music movement. I feel like right now we're coming out of one of the polished movements.
You know
You
what's
know
something I noticed?
what?
Think about autotune when it started picking up in pop, all that
Yeah,
stuff with T-Pain, for example. Think of how, like, I guess the word jagged it sounded, you
yeah. It,
know?
it had this real like it really took away the human element of the voice, but
Hmm.
that's of course not a jab to it. That's like, to me, that's something that was what they were going for, and they
See, and
executed
that's what
beautifully.
was trending back then, and I
Hmm.
thought that sounded great when I was a little kid. But like, it started, as the years kept going, at around like 2016, I guess you couldn't even
Yep.
notice there was autotune in people's voices anymore. Like they were going really like, really into it, and like really like perfecting every little thing about it, right? And if you go back to it now, I feel like we're finding more T-Pain type stuff in music. Like if you pay attention in certain places, you'll find that like autotune has kind of gone back into that somewhat, you know?
Yeah, and it definitely has a lot to do with the anti-pop movement that's going on right now that I love so much. Like with
Mhm.
people like Oliver Tree and
Mhm. Yeah.
100 Gex, like they,
Oh, Oliver Tree and 100 Gex. Yeah.
yeah, because it's that cycle thing I'm telling you about. Because if you listen to any, like, I can't play a lot of their music because as those naughty words, but
Mhm.
if you were to look up their music, you would hear it. Because the first time I heard, I think it was, oh, what's that really famous one by 100 Gex? I'm gonna sound so stupid for not
Money
knowing.
Machine, Money
Yeah,
Machine.
Money Machine. There we go, Money Machine. Yeah, when I first heard that one,
So
it sounded
cool.
to me like it sounded like a Lady Gaga or like early, 2000s Lady Gaga, Katy Perry
Mhm. Yeah,
song,
yeah,
but just
yeah.
turned up on steroids. Like
Yeah.
it's so cool because like, and it's all the funnier now because like I wouldn't have been listening to that kind of music back then, but not now that I'm hearing it, I'm just like,
Mhm.
oh, I like it now that they took everything that was like came from a industry background of having these, really big industry artists and them cementing that kind of formula of, those kind of auto-tune vocals and really beefy basses and just turning it 1,000% up and doing just doing what they want from it. Because this is not something you would hear on radio. It's really like it's out there.
Yeah, it's out there. And that's what I think. Out there can be really good. Or not. That's not necessarily out there. But what I'm trying to get at is like, I'm not saying big artists are overrated, because I feel like that's a very overrated opinion either way.
Yeah.
But they're big for a reason, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of like really good, really small artists, and they're hard to find. But if you can find them, you can find others like them. And then it turns out they have their little own communities, and it's the weirdest thing. But it's really cool because you can find like extremely dedicated fans to like really tiny bands, and you listen in, and their stuff's really nice, and it's like they're pumping out this much like quality, but they have like 4 songs out, or like there's not much to them, I guess.
Yeah. Like I honestly love the whole. And that goes inside, like there's a growing change in right now, like the modern music movement. Like one of the biggest ones is straying away from mostly putting out albums and going for more EPs and singles. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, sorry for interrupting you there, but EPs and singles are nice. They are nice, because so I feel like nowadays people have like a shorter attention span than they did before.
For sure.
Yeah, like even me, cause like an artist will come out with an album, right? And I won't touch it for like a week or two. I just won't. But if an artist comes out with a single at like 12 a.m., I'm like, oh yeah, let's get on this. It could be midnight and I'm listening to this new song. But an album, I just feel like I don't do that. An EP, I can log into an EP. I can listen to an EP. I can just tune in, not log in. I can tune into it on the spot. And just get lost in it. It's nice. Yeah,
for sure. Like literally, like I think the last album I really cared to listen to was 2016's Death of a Bachelor by Panic at the Disco. That was the last one I remember like giving a crap about. And after that, I was just like,
way back at 2016.
All the way back. I mean, at this point, that's kind of how time works. More and more years go by, the longer it is back.
It has been 4 years.
It has been 4 years, and that in relation to our ages is like, like a fifth of our life, give or take. Wow, that's crazy. Man.
Last album I was looking forward to, I'd say I was really looking forward to, or like not looking forward to, but like the last album I remember listening to entirely and thinking, this is great, was probably an album by Eden called No Future. That was I don't know if you've heard it, but that was a pretty good album, and it's got like 13 songs on it, I'm pretty sure. But all of them were pretty good, and that really interested me.
But yeah, so it's just like, and I don't know, like the single format is more appealing to me, because when you have an album is really, to me, tied to maybe 1 or 2, like 2 or 3 songs. You got the singles that they put out, and maybe any other famous songs that happen to be famous despite not being singles.
Yeah.
But all the other ones just kind of feel like filler. And even though that's like, I know that is not the case, because there are so many, like when I used to listen to albums, a lot of my favorite songs from my favorite bands used to come from those, the non-single songs on albums. But yeah, I guess it's just like, it depends on the operation. Because if you have like an entire studio and production team behind you, then albums are a piece of cake.
Yeah. Yeah, you just walk in the studio, you record it, and bam, you're out. Give it a few months, and it's ready for you.
Exactly, but
people get stuff recorded really quickly.
It's insane, yeah. Like meanwhile, I'm here like spending weeks to record like
yeah, man. I feel you, man. I'm spending weeks on a song at a time just to release it as a single. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing, that you can never rush perfection.
You
can never rush that. That's
for sure. That's for sure.
In fact, like my friend Mel told me this really good thing. She was like, just close your ears and release it. I'm like, dang. Dang, that is true. I just gotta close my ears sometimes.
What I do, and I don't know if it's the best idea, but I'll start listening to something that I've been working on for a long time, and I'll get working on it again. You know, like
Of
I'm
course.
working on for a long time, like an old song. I'll go back to an old song. I'm like, I can rework this. I can change this and that. And then I'll switch around songs until I'm eventually ready to go back to the one I was originally working on. And then I'm like, oh, it's like listening to it all over again.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And that really helps.
Yeah, that really, because sometimes, oh my, there have been so many times when I would like, I'll just, I get into the like in the zone, you know, like Zen mode type thing, where I just like, I'll be working on this one track for like days, and then suddenly it starts sounding bad to me, and I'm just like, you know what, this was a mistake.
And then you ditch the whole project. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I know the
months later, you're like, hey, look at this little thing, and you play it, and you're like, wow, this was actually great.
There was, I think one of the things, and I don't know if I'll ever release it. I have this super old song that I started working probably summer of 28, not summer of 2018, no. Maybe like 2 or 3 months after I started music, right?
Yeah.
I had just switched over from Audacity onto the other program.
Making money moves.
Making big money moves. And then I started it, right? But the thing was, I never bothered to finish it. But every time I'd log on to work on any other song that I would eventually release, I'd work on it, tinker it just a little and a little and a little bit, right? And every now and then I catch myself going back in and just tinkering with it, and it sounds so nice. Like I think I've perfected it, but I've been spending so long working on it that I don't know if it's worth it to release it anymore. You know, it's like,
for sure it is.
It's like, I like this is mine. This is mine. Like,
I actually understand that.
And I don't know, maybe I will someday. We'll see. But
it's almost like you know the band Boston?
Boston, I do not think so.
You probably know they sing More Than a Feeling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can pinpoint the name.
Yeah. But like they were a very early version of that whole punk DIY, but the main I do not know names at all, but the main dude of the group, I'm pretty sure he's the one that basically like produced everything that they ever did. And the man's would take like 9 years or so to produce an entire album, just like on his own in his basement, just going ham at it. So you know, whenever I feel bad about taking so much time. Exactly. Like when you go in there with your own like vision of what you have in mind, and then you just can't replicate it. It's very, very, very frustrating. But that's what learning's all about, you know.
See, and that's a good thing, because you learn if something doesn't fit the way you thought it would. You don't necessarily. I mean, music's an art, you know, and making music's an art too. And you don't necessarily have to go with your first thought. I've had, mostly for lyrics, it hasn't happened too much with instrumentals, but I'll write lyrics for like. Hold up, gotta swallow. I'll write lyrics for one song, and I realize, hey, you know, this part of this lyric, I really like that. Not on this song though. I'll move it over to that one. And then this part of this song, this is really good. Just not with this song at all. And I'll switch and match, and then I realize, you know, this is it's okay. Basically what I'm trying to get at is it's okay to change. Like, by all means, you definitely should if you feel like you have to change it up a little bit every now and then.
That is such a big thing, because personally, when I'm like writing music and I come up with this one idea, and I just kind of like cement it. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be my verse, right? This little guitar progression thingy. But then, like, you know, maybe it sounds better as a chorus, but I just never consider it. That's the thing. You got to break out that like that whole like, you know, because in reality, music is just like a Frankenstein's monster of ideas.
I agree. Yeah.
It's just, you know, because like it is possible to just sit down and write an entire song just from scratch, just like, you know, right then and there, and have everything in order and planned out. That's possible. I'm not saying it isn't, but for the most part, at least in my experience, you know, it's just been like, you know, little like for me, like I'll be sitting there and playing around my guitar and then come up with this little chord progression or riff. I'm like, aha, noted, ding ding in my head. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And whenever I'm sitting down to write something, actually, I'd be like, this needs a riff or whatever, and then just go through a little catalog of what you got.
Yeah.
Construct that Frankenstein.
I have all these different progressions that I haven't, not in mind, but that I have memorized.
Yeah.
And every now and then, and I don't know if it's weird or not, but like I'll get lyrics for one song that I already have basically already finished and already recorded and out. And I'll grab those same lyrics, but put them on like a different, like I'll re-record it into like a different chord progression.
Yeah.
Or a different beat entirely. And they fit, and I think about it, and I'm like, why didn't I do that? I don't know. Yeah.
I get that. And like, honestly, these kind of like revelations make me understand a lot of things about the industry. Like, for example, why there are so many remixes of the same song.
Yeah. Is it Lil Nas X? Is it Lil Nas X that has... It's like there's like 6 or 7 Old Town Road remixes.
Like the first 2 or 3 were alright, but okay. Like, but at the same time, I get it. Yeah. It's like, dang, what if I had Billy Ray Cyrus on this version of it?
See, Billy Ray Cyrus sounds really cool, but I don't know, maybe Kanye.
Yeah, maybe. No, but yeah, I totally get that. Like, it's called. But even, I feel like when you start getting to that point of, hey, this sounds good here as well, you uncover this next like level of songwriting called like leitmotifs, which are little like musical statements that like pop out throughout a piece. So like I mean, you see this all throughout, like, especially classical music, because that's where the name originates from. It's like, it's a classical term, but like, for example, in Green Day, I heard them all the time throughout like American Idiot. Like, oh my god, it was that Homecoming. Homecoming has so many of them. That that little melodic thing comes on all throughout it. And I think that's just like that next level of reaching it, just being able to like take those little melodic phrases that work in different places and make it into a much bigger thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because even like My Chemical Romance, however, didn't do it within the same album, but they did it really split, because they took the I'm not gonna be able, I think it's the now I'm completely blanking on it again. I did this last time. It was either it was Bop Till You Drop, that was the Ramon song, and now this time I think it's Not In and Out by them. Basically, they kind of did a callback to it in their song Ambulance, which was the Conventional Weapons like collection of singles that they released after Danger Days. So I kind of like, I totally get that, just having that same. I mean, heck, I've even done it with my own music and the music that we've worked on together. Remember the beat, or not the beat, but the main arpeggio that I did.
You did for Places to Be?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you used that for, what did you use that one for?
I used it for Nevermore.
Nevermore.
My very first really crappy song I put on SoundCloud.
I mean, I liked it
many moons ago.
I liked it.
It's just me it's got its own little charm.
What's the one where you're improvising for a while?
Oh, there's a bunch of those. I have Goon Bear's Looney Improv or something. I don't know.
Yeah, one of those.
But back to your music though. What you got in store? Got any secret little things coming for us?
I do. Mostly in planning, but I do. I have a 4-song, maybe gonna be 5-song EP that I plan on recording. That I plan on recording sometime soon. These songs have already been played. They've been played at the Trilogy Brew when I went with you and we had a little concert. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I played some of those songs there.
Is my favorite one on it?
It is. It very much so is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always forget the name of it, and I always feel bad. What's it called?
See, the thing is, I'm trying to figure it out too. So
Oh, it's one of those.
I'm going in between her and Turn Your Eyes.
So what's the song about?
All right, so the song is it's one of the ones that I think I wrote this one in a hotel while I was in Colorado, but so
Yeah.
it's about, think about like staring into a mirror and then seeing somebody else, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not that person. Basically, it's about a girl staring into a mirror and seeing like a broken version of who she used to be. And me, I'm singing about her and how like she can get out of this. Not that she can get out of this, but like she can fight this for the most part. She can fight this.
Interesting. And is this like who is this girl though?
No one in particular for the most part. No one in particular for this song. I do have certain songs that I've written about certain people that I'm not gonna bring up. But
Well, no, of course.
but you
of
know,
course.
yeah.
Well, I meant it more in just like the figure. Like, is she supposed to represent you in a way, or society, or
Society. I'd say in a way.
That was a really good
Society. I'd say in a way it definitely does represent me, because I think during these times that I was writing more I guess punk songs, I guess I was I was looking into myself. I was looking into myself a lot and thinking like there's a lot about me I don't like, but there's a lot about me I do. And this I'm gonna segue into this real quick. So the way that I write music is I write down notes. I'll start with just a piece of paper, for the most part, my notes, depends if I'm home or not. And I'll start writing down just general notes about how I feel, or like how stuff's going, or like my general thoughts of the day, I guess. And then from that, I'll try to like turn that into a poem. And then from that, I try to, basically a lot of like editing until eventually I got like a poem that I like, and then I put some music to it, and then I make a song. So
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So like for you, it's a much more like therapeutic process, I'd assume.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's another thing. So when people make music, when a lot of people make music, or what at least when I make music, it's I don't make music for like, I don't want people to be like, oh, look at him, he's flexing, all that stuff, because that's not me at all. I make music for me. I make music because I want to make music, because I like making music, because I like doing this, and this is, it's what I enjoy doing. It's what I enjoy doing, and that's the thing, and that's why I make it. I wouldn't say like it's hard to understand sometimes where I'm coming from with a lot of these songs, but
but you're not pandering to anyone.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Keeping it real with yourself.
You gotta keep it real with yourself, And from now and then, every now and then too, you gotta keep it. I wouldn't say not keeping it real, but keeping it fake. Like you gotta have fun with stuff, right? You gotta have fun with your music.
Oh my god.
So that's why I think too, it's fun to just mess around. It's fun to like every now and then. Even if you don't make music, I recommend doing this. Even if you don't make music, look up like hardepicbeats.com or something like that, or go onto YouTube and look up epic type beats, super muscle type beat, some like that, right? And just attempt to freestyle, and you might just come up with something really, really, really bad, but really, really, really good. And you never know.
Exactly.
And I think there's so much fun in that, and there's so many times where I've gotten into it, and whew.
Exactly. And I cannot stress enough the importance of just like improv, basically just improvising over stuff. Yeah, like you don't have to be good to improv. Just put on whatever. That's like goes back to that whole accompanist thing I was talking about learning guitar. Because for me, the way I started writing songs and whatnot was just playing chord progressions that I'd already known, or just kind of like figure out, and just kind of improvising on top of that. So yeah, just like any forms. That's how you get creating, baby.
Yeah, and you know what else it goes back to? You know what else it goes back to? You remember remember in the choir in the rehearsal rooms, me, you, and a few other
Oh
friends
my
would get
god,
back there.
bro! Oh my
Uh,
god, this story. So like once it was like the last concert of the year, pop show, and we're all like, because we're all waiting for our times to go on, and we're all waiting. And then in the choir room, they have like practice rooms with pianos in them, so we're all
the
just
way
in there,
back.
just yeah,
Mhm.
in the way back way. Like, we're all just inside the practice room, just like just goofing around, playing the piano and freestyling off of it. And I
Mhm.
remember because that was, oh my god, I remember that. It was just a lot of fun. Just me, you, Chai,
I think
Lance, and
Elijah was there too.
yeah, Elijah.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
I remember Michael goes to Elijah and he goes, "Yo, lay down a beat," and he just starts playing something. And then Michael's like, "Ooh, yeah, ooh,
Ooh,
ooh, ooh." And
yeah.
then he
We all
just
just got
starts
on.
going at it, then we go at it, we do a roast off, we go in circles roasting each other's shoes and stuff or whatever, you know. Oh, it was
Oh
so
my
bad, but it
god.
was great, you know, and
Yeah. Oh, and the best part was because we're all there, we're waiting for our turn to get on. So after a while, I just think like, hey, don't you think it's time we should like
oh
probably
yeah,
head
yeah,
out?
yeah, yeah,
And so I opened the door, and I think we were both like, yeah, because we were sophomores when
yeah.
this is all happening. I open the door and I see two seniors were walking by, and I'm just like, yo, when's our time to get on? He's like, what do you mean? The guys have already gone on. And oh my god, we all lost our minds there. Thought we missed the entire concert. Just freaking out, being like, "Oh, what? Like what now? Like what? Good 60% of raids too."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It turns out we didn't. We did not miss our show.
I remember looking at your face and just Michael's face and just shock, just shock.
Yeah, because we're the last two that cared.
Yeah, that was. I see. Those are some of the memories that I miss from choir. Not even just choir itself, but the background stuff. You know, messing
Yeah,
around
literally.
backstage and all that type of stuff. Like,
Exactly.
but before we went on to every concert, do you remember we'd sit in the back, the lights are off, so no one can see us, and we're looking at each other. We're like, pointing at each other and just doing like little fun things.
Oh yeah, basically like being complete distractions to
Yeah.
anybody, but
And the
it was
seniors are
great.
like, get back in line. Get back in
Stop.
line. Stop that.
And like I know you left, like basically when all y'all left, because it was the little goon squad leaving. You,
The
Elijah, and
goons.
all that was fun. But y'all, and I was like the last one there, and I was pretty much the only one that took it seriously. Just seeing like the next like the next generation of the goons growing up. It was, but,
Yeah.
with the new underclassmen that came in,
I'm
just
sad I
watching them
didn't
as a
get to see
senior.
him.
Yeah,
Sad I
no,
didn't get to meet him. Feel like I would have been good friends with him.
there were quite some cool dudes. Jason, Garrett, all them. Shout
Jason's
out
a
to
cool
y'all.
guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason. I saw him while we were fishing.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
Mhm.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man, choir.
Memories.
But yeah, you know, choir seems dorky, but a lot of great musicians have their starts in it. Got
Mhm.
Handel, the composer, started off as a little
Mhm.
choir boy.
Mhm.
A lot
Way
of
way back then.
way back when,
Way back when.
in good old and this time it's actual way back when. Okay, I know
Yep.
2016. If I say way back when for 2016, y'all gonna get triggered, but the
This is
actual way back when,
way
the actual 1800s way back when type thing.
back when music was still good.
Back when we had real music, not
None
not
of
not
this, none of
your
this out of tune.
none of this little pump Gucci gang trash. No, 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 no. We had 5 hours of German people singing. That
Pull up with the drummer boy. This the good old
yeah,
days. Hmm.
yeah. Why can't we just go back to that, bro? We're like it was just heavily regulated.
I'm telling you, time travel is the future and the past.
Interesting thing about time travel, I saw it in that that Tumblr page, the shower thoughts or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah. I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was the one where it's like time travel would be impossible because we went in the future, then we would be named by any diseases that they had, evolved
Oh
to by
yeah,
then.
think about
But if we
that.
went, yeah, if we go back in the past, we would name everybody else.
Hmm.
due to the diseases that we bring.
Yeah.
Dang. So if at all we ever do it, it had to be in hazmat suits.
Mm-hmm.
But given how Americans have been taking this whole mask mandate, I doubt that'd be able to be done.
Mm-hmm.
This is the slight political veering on the music show that I'm doing.
Welcome back to the political side of
of Artie's Kooky music.
All I gotta say is wear your mask. All right, it's simple as that. Wear your mask.
This has been an approved statement.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So what's the? I remember you were interning or volunteering, right, at the Woodlands Church.
At the Woodlands Church, yes, I very much was.
Yeah,
and that was really fun. That was really fun, and I wish I could have. I wish I could have kept going, but sadly, with all the virus stuff going on, it just shut down for a bit. So
yeah. So what were your responsibilities there?
Okay, so my main responsibilities were show up on time, of course, but
really?
I was the assistant to yeah, really. I was
assistant to the regional manager.
Assistant to the regional manager there. No, I was the assistant to the sound guy basically. I was assistant to the guy that worked in the booth. If he needed me to pass him the phone, very little stuff, but every now and then he would give me some high responsibility and he would say, "Hey, this next song's about to come up. Can you put it on cue? Set the volume to this, lower this, that, move that around a little bit. If you could do that, that'd be really helpful." And right before, we left for the break, and we left for, everything else that's been going on now. Right before all that started, I was about to get a position there I was still going to be volunteering, but I was going to be working the online show because they actually stream it, and I was going to be the sound guy for the stream. And I was really looking forward to that because that's hands-on experience.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be working with the big hardware, with the big SL500, the big stuff. I was looking really forward to that. But I'll just have to wait till this is passed, and I'll go right back to it.
As we all shall. That's yeah, because of all the industries that got absolutely decimated by the pandemic, the music industry is, and especially the live industry is one of them. And
concerts, all that stuff's not really happening anymore.
Yeah, it's really fun to see, especially when I'm going into such an industry.
Yeah,
but
you love to
it's
see
all fine.
It,
You love to see.
You love to see it.
Put a blind eye. But yeah, no,
I think I had I think maybe I remember pulling out my phone sometime in the middle of probably March and looking at my calendar. I had 4 or 5 concerts that I really wanted to go to, and they were day after day, and then a week, and then one day, a day, and they were all for April and May, right? And I was so ready for them. I was ready to go and attend those, but nope, couldn't do it.
Yeah, I had my own. I only had one concert I was really looking forward to. It was because I go to a bunch of metal shows in Houston with my friend Will. He's my fellow metalhead up here, and oh man, we're looking forward to go to see Mayhem and Abbott, which are these 2 of the biggest black metal bands. Mayhem especially pretty dark and creepy. They're that one band. If you've ever heard of the black metal bands from, I don't know, I think it was Sweden, Norway. You've heard of this one where the lead dude killed himself and a bunch of members kill each other. One's in prison for burning churches. They're the hardcore real deal type dudes. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much all the original members are dead now except for the drummer. The drummer, I feel like the drummer is the same thing as Cannibal Corpse's drummer. Where because Cannibal Corpse is a death metal band, but very heavy, very not safe for this kind of radio type thing. But if I've seen interviews with just the drummer, and he's the most the interviews so what do you like? He's like, oh, I'm a vegan.
And it's always the weirdest
chill,
thing,
dude.
but yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like
the
drummer.
Thing.
Yeah, really chill, dude. He was just he doesn't look scary at all. He literally looks like your average, just 40-year-old dude, because they're all older now. But yeah, the same thing with the black metal dude. I feel like, at least. But no, that got need Corona as well.
Yeah, you know what's great about basically not judging a book by its cover sometimes, and I love seeing it. People that you can tell they're like tattooed from like the neck down and sometimes even the neck up, and you think, oh, they're gonna be mean, they're gonna be this, they're gonna be that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they smile, you know, and then they say stuff, and you start talking to them, or you hear them online, and
yeah,
they're not at all. You know, it's like the weirdest thing. It's like they have
That's
such a
great,
tough
yeah.
image, but they're really nice and friendly people, and it's really weird, but it's really cool. You know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's the vibe I always go for. The
Mm.
whole like for me, it's like friendly giant because I'm like 6 foot, and I've been told by my sister that her friends think I'm scary because I'm always wearing like Slayer and stuff. But
Mhm.
I like to think I'm a
Nah, you're real friendly.
oh, but yeah, like that's the whole like because like I entirely get that aesthetic because it's that whole like I can lay you on the floor if I want, but it doesn't
but
have to
will
come
I?
but it doesn't have to come to that because we're all chilling friends.
Mhm.
But yeah.
See, not me. I'm actually I think I'm 5'11". I am.
Oh, okay,
Well,
so
okay.
this is what it's become.
I
Okay,
could be 6.
okay.
I could be 6 foot if I wanted to.
With the right Crocs on,
With the right Crocs on, with the elevated heels and that. But
with the platforms on. Yeah,
yeah, but I'm 135. You know,
yeah.
I'm a little on the skinny side. But like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. My some I have a certain song that does not reflect that at all, and that's Edge. And that was one of when I first started making music. That was the song on Audacity, so the quality of it's just not the best. But the song starts out with police sirens and a lot of reverb on a
I
backwards
remember this
guitar, and it starts with this clip I got off of YouTube, just the audio where it's like, "Put your hands up, I'm not giving you a second warning," and you know.
I mean, I totally get that. It's fun being the scary dude. You know?
Mm-hmm. And now I'm
So every
playing.
now and then.
Yeah, now I'm playing music on my ukulele. You know, now so you know, I really had
I
a whole
totally
switch
get
there.
that.
But
Yeah.
it's nice
I
exploring
mean,
different genres.
dude,
For
that's
sure.
like basically like my performance. I keep going back to them because they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you look at their first album. It's I brought you my bullets. You brought me something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Get your second one, 3 cheers for sweet revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Get to the third one, welcome to the black
Parade.
Parade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, the fourth one, it's like Danger Days. This is the fun, like the cutesy, really colorful, fun party type album.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like everyone needs that kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone
sort
needs
of
some diversity.
that spectrum
in your own music is good.
Mm-hmm.
Diversity in your own. I cannot express that enough. Diversity in your own music is good because there'll be some artists you can find that just everything they make kind of sounds the same. You know.
Yeah, very much so.
Mm-hmm. It's it can be good. You know, it can by all means be good. But for the most part, I find that if you broaden, as long as you have like a general idea and you broaden on that, you can do quite a lot. You can do quite a lot.
It's all like with that concept in mind, I feel like you can make a Venn diagram, right? Where you where you get Dream Theater on one side and the Ramones on the other side. You got Dream Theater on Dream Theater side. It's like very progressive, very like technically good, blah blah blah. And then on the Ramones, it's like not technically good, not progressive, but in the middle, all their songs sound the same. You know? you get to the modes because that's the thing. You can be the greatest musicians or you can be the crappiest, but like their songs sound the same. It gets boring, especially Dream. Oh my god, like I love Ramones way more than I'll ever love Dream Theater because it's like we get it. You can play this alternating 8/8/9/8 thing where you're playing a suspended like a B sus4 add 9 type chord, but why? Why?
That's really cool, but your past 7 songs have shown that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's just different numbers and different like it's
like that Jimmy Neutron meme. It's like this is the 7th time you've shown this in class.
Exactly. It's just like the same rearranged things. I'm like, oh my god, can you just like not make it seem so formulaic?
That's for sure. That's why it's good to mix it up.
Yeah, I say the
Shout
best.
out to Lil Nas for all his remixes. Keeping
for
it the same
7
but changing it up.
keeping it real with the 7 versions of the same song. I can stress how much the world needed that.
You know, I'm still waiting for that 8th one with with Lady Gaga. Who knows if we'll get it? Who knows?
Yeah,
We'll
the 8th one with oh, crap, what's his name? Irvin Berlin.
we gotta get everyone on there, you know. We just gotta get
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
on there.
Or even bring them back from the dead. We
Even
got one with Bob Dylan and with John Lennon and everyone, you know, the whole squad.
the whole squad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In fact, he's the new We're All the World. You know, just replace the song with just all
just It's a cool song and all, but Lil Nas could sing it better.
When will Lil Nas eventually feature Lil Nas?
Dude, I'm waiting for that day. Who is
Yeah.
featuring? Why is he in so many songs?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I guess that is nearing the end of Artie's Kooky Music Party interview type thing with my boy Oscar Vinegar.
Vinegar Waves over here.
Yeah, Vinegar Waves. So,
Mm-hmm.
any last words? Any plugs that you want to do?
I think so, yeah. I think okay, a lot of people
Mhm.
don't really mess with SoundCloud. And I get it. It's the whole, and this is like a general statement, you know. It's like the whole idea that if people go onto SoundCloud, it's just SoundCloud rap and all this and that. No, SoundCloud is a platform that you could do anything with. Really, like I've seen podcasts on there. I've seen podcasts. I've seen
Heck, I upload this one to SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
You know, I'm gonna give it a listen
Yeah.
later. I'm gonna give it a like and a repost.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you see a lot of stuff on there. You know, not just rap, not just trap. You know, and I
Yeah.
think if you haven't downloaded it or given it a try, shout out to SoundCloud. Definitely get on there and just do some exploring. You never know what you might find. It's one of my favorite bands, Panucci's Pizza. They didn't originate on SoundCloud, but I found them on there. And,
Yeah.
Oh, they've been off the map for a while, but I love them. I love them to death.
Sure.
They're great.
I'm pretty sure they've broken up, dude.
Ah, see, that just makes me feel sad.
Sorry to inform you.
Oh well, but you know, nonetheless, do check out SoundCloud for sure, and see what you can find. So me on SoundCloud, just a little plug into myself because you know we are trying to grow. We are trying to grow.
Of course.
Despite the music being for myself, I do like when people give it a listen, give it a like.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll put your like links and stuff on everything.
That's real nice for you. It's real nice. Thank you, man.
No problem.
So yeah, Vinegar Waves on the SoundCloud. But general statement: don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone and download another app, man. It's worth it. It's worth it to see what you can find on SoundCloud.
Bars.
You know, bars.
All
so
right.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Well, thank you. And that has been Oscar/Vinegar Waves with Artie on Artie's Kooky Music Party on
Thank you
Lone
for
Star
having me.
Community Radio Station.